2014 Nissan Versa Note. It's a Japanese subcompact hatchback. I'd say something witty if I just wasn't so excited to review something that wasn't a minimum of 12 years old or a freaking GM product. So, 5 episodes in, and I've already developed a bit of a pattern in my reviews. So far, 4 out of the 5 episodes have been on American vehicles, and 3 of those were GM products at that. Then, if you include the Wookie live video I did on my rusty S10, then that makes 4 GM products I've covered, and 3 of them have had the freaking 4.3 liter V6. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, as I grew up with 90s GM and have a lot of experience with the 4.3. But this makes me possibly the only car reviewer on YouTube to actually be excited to review a Nissan Versa. The Nissan Versa has been Nissan's subcompact model since 2007, filling the gap that existed for 6 years where the company did not sell its subcompact in America after the Sentra was moved up into the compact class. Originally, the Versa sedan and hatchback were the same car, known as the Tita, I really hope I'm saying that right, outside of America. However, those were replaced with 2 different models when it came to the second generation. The sedan in 2002, known as the Latio outside of America, and the hatchback in 2014, known simply as the Note outside of America. Not wanting a standalone hatchback to struggle in America, Nissan simply added the Versa Note in the name to try to convey that this is the same car as the sedan. Not really. While they both ride on Nissan's subcompact V platform and share a 102.4-inch wheelbase, these are pretty much 2 different cars. The sedan looks even more blah than the first generation. Tiny wheels and styling seemingly inspired by the Jelly Bean make this just scream ambient on wheels. The Note, however, uses sharp lines and angles to create a handsome little hatch. In a world full of Yaris's and Fits and Fiestas and Scenics, it fits right in. Nissan uses the tiny packaging for its full effect. After falling asleep just looking at that dreadful sedan, this is refreshing and modern. Power comes from Nissan's 1.6-liter HR16DE straight 4, which produces 109 horsepower and 107 foot-pounds of torque. And this is hooked up to Nissan's Xtronic CVT transmission. And I will say, that dreadful CVT is this car's biggest fault. By Odin's beard, it has that poor 4-banger drone on and on and on. It's dreadful to listen to, especially with that custom exhaust the owner had installed. Hearing the exhaust initially, you expect a revvy, poppy little motor. But you are instantly disappointed by that CVT. Taking off, it feels like you've forgotten to upshift at all times. It reminds me of that dreadful CVT in the last Lancer. It makes me just glad that people have spoken against these dang things with their wallets. Give me a proper automatic, or stick shift, any day of the week. Alright, calm down. Inside is delightfully basic, with a minimalistic approach to the climate controls. While stock versions came with the common infotainment screen that you see in every vehicle now, this one's been upgraded to an aftermarket unit. The gauges are simple and easy to read, and you get not 1, but 2 glove boxes. This is probably due to the lack of a center console, but I like it due to the efficient use of the space. There's no power windows, that's reserved for higher models, but you do get power mirrors, which is nice considering you can still get fleet vehicles today without them. And you don't realize how inconvenient it is until you jump into a vehicle without power mirrors and you have to adjust them. The back seat has more room than my larger Saturn, and the hatch provides plenty of room for stuff on top of the aftermarket subwoofer. But keep in mind that even for being a modern car, it's still an economy car at heart. Yeah, there are major improvements and refinement that I wish my 2005 Saturn had, but this little Versa does not hide the fact that it sits firmly on the bottom of Nissan's large family of vehicles. The interior plastics are flimsy, the sheet metal has a lot of give to it, the doors are extremely light, the lack of a center console or any sort of armrest in the center feels like it'd be uncomfortable over long rides, and that horrific CVT. Keep in mind, base models today start a little over $15,000, which is cheap in today's market. Now, as you've probably noticed, this car has a bunch of little modifications done to it, which I do enjoy through and through. There's an aftermarket head unit and sound system, muffler delete exhaust, aftermarket wheels, HID headlights, and a personal flair through stuffed animals and stickers throughout. It begs the question, who tunes a Nissan Versa of all things? Don't get me wrong, the cheap entry price and handsome hatchback styling makes it a perfect candidate. But I've personally never seen a Nissan Versa get modded and tuned before. No, if this was a Mazda or a Honda or even a Volkswagen, those brands have huge followings, and Nissan does too. But honestly, outside of the GTR or 370Z, Nissan hasn't exactly been known for its performance following in recent years. But there is a dedicated community for this very car. Just Google Nissan Versa Clubs, and several forums pop up. The owner is an active participant in this community, and he has a lot more upgrades planned in the future for this little car. And you know what? I applaud him and that community as a whole. Tuning in economy cars has always been a thing, and it's awesome to stumble upon such a community. The Nissan Versa, to me, has always seemingly struggled against the market leaders in the Honda Fit, Mazda 2, and I'd even throw the blandness of the Toyota Yaris in there as well. I see much more Yarises on the road than Versas, but I won't deny that the Versa Note is a good little economy car. I see the potential in a car like this. That little four-banger is asking for more power, and as a subcompact should, the lightweight and small size make it a fun and tossable around corners. It's no BMW 3 Series or Mazda Miata, but I can see why someone would be encouraged to seek out the hidden potential in this little hatch. So, what do I think of this little Japanese econobox? Honestly, I'd daily it. Keep in mind, I drive a 2005 base model Saturn. Mid-2000s GM at its grayest of grays. Radios and the whole infotainment attitude has come a long way in the 9 years between these two cars. Honestly, a modern hatch like this would feel like a step up for me in terms of comfort and entertainment. The hatchback is practical, the seating is surprisingly not cramped for such a small car, especially for being a large guy like myself, and the engine is revvy and frugal, dosing out 31 city and 40 highway miles per gallon. I like the handsome lines of this little hatchback. But this is clear. I would go for the 5-speed. For the love of God, the CVT is the devil in transmission form. By God, does it kill any potential joy that driving this car may give you. I hate it, hate it, hate it. If there was any clear argument for saving the manuals, it would be this dreck of a transmission. For the love of God, people, go for that 5-speed. Please, please, I beg of thee. Excuse me there. Got a little worked up. In conclusion, the Nissan Versa... Now, let me catch my breath again. In conclusion, the Nissan Versa Note is a very good little econobox. They have a cheap entry price, are seemingly easy to tune, and are fuel efficient. It would make a great first car for a teenager for all those reasons. Just avoid that rubber band of misery and go for the 5-speed. Junior is going to need to learn how to drive sticks sooner or later. Awesome! Vented taillights. I would like to thank Michael of Salisbury, North Carolina for use of your little Nissan for this video. Be sure to give this video a like and hit that subscribe button. Also, check out the official Wookie Drives Facebook page for updates and more. Every little bit helps this little channel grow. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video and have a good one. All right.